Hello everyone, today we will be going over how to counter SCP-096 in SCP Containment Breach. SCP-096 is a creature that will kill you if you view its face. We are currently in heavy containment, and this room right here, this rectangular room with the two windows, is a room in heavy containment that will spawn SCP-096 into your game. Now, if you've seen my video on SCP-966, you'll remember that I was all like, avoid spawning them at all costs. You really don't want to spawn them. For 096, me personally, I don't care enough, because if you manage to avoid spawning him in this room in heavy containment, he will spawn instead in another room in the entrance zone. And now that's two different rooms you have to avoid. So even if you manage to avoid him here, the game's just gonna shove him back in your face. But I personally don't care enough. But if you do, which a lot of people do, this is the room you want to avoid. But yeah, let's go in. So when you go in, a cutscene will play where SCP-096 kills a guard who accidentally looked at its face. And this easier door to take, you'll see, is locked. So you're gonna have to go in there with them. So make sure to keep your head down so that you don't see his face. Now, you're not going to be able to escape through the other door until you flipped both these switches. And then you also have to walk over here and flip this switch. And remember, seeing his body will not get him mad, just seeing his face. So what I just did there was fine. Now after that, you'll be able to open this door, close it behind you. Again, that door doesn't work, but that would have been the easier way. And that's all you have to do. You have successfully avoided SCP-096. However, he is now spawned in your game and is free to wander around. So in case you guys were curious, this is the room in the entrance zone that 096 will spawn him, but he only spawns here if you didn't spawn him in heavy containment. And as you can see, he's kneeling down in the corner, and because he's sitting down, he's starting to get up. But so if he starts to get up, just keep your head down. If he's still kneeling down when you get in, just keep your head towards the wall, because okay. Well, that was not the plan, but yeah, as you can see, if he gets up, just keep your head down. If he hasn't gotten up yet, keep your head towards the wall, because chances are if your head is downwards, he's also sitting down, so you still might see him, and you won't die, or not at the hands of SCP-096 at least. SCP-096 is most lethal, however, when you don't know which room he is. A lot of times people will open a door and he'll be right behind it, so when they open the door, they just open it and then they see him, and it catches people off guard, and then they're screwed. So how do you stay on guard? Well, there are two things you can use to know that he's nearby. The first one, you'll hear him crying very loudly, and you'll hear some ambience. like you hear right now. And that's a signal that when you go into the next room, you want to keep your head down. Not so down that you won't be able to see SCP-173, but down enough so that you can't see 096. In addition to the sound, if you have an SNAV Ultimate, you can also use that to identify when he's nearby. So just check that once in a while and you'll be like, oh, 096 is in this next room. I better keep my head down. So, for example, we can tell quite obviously that he's in this room. So when we enter it, we're going to keep our head down. And that's all you really need to know about 096, but there are a few other things I would like to mention. So, let's say you see his face. When you see his face, he'll panic and cover his face, and he'll start having like a little fit for like a few seconds. And once he's done his fit, he will chase after you at alarmingly high speeds. It's very scary. So running will not save you. It'll only delay your fate. It doesn't matter where you go. If you take elevators, that doesn't matter. If you close doors, that doesn't matter. He is going to get you. So you might just want to let it happen. The only, like, unless you're like already almost beaten the game and then you see his face and you can run, and running buys you just the amount of time to finish the game. But that's a very specific scenario. So there is one thing you can do to counter him forever, however, and that is use SCP-1499 right when he's about to catch up to you, and just staying in the, if you don't know what SCP-1499 does, it takes you to another dimension, and just camping in the other dimension for a few minutes. Now, it is important to note that while doing this buys you more time, it does not de-trigger 096. So if you got 096 mad and you looked in its face, and then he's about to catch you, and then you use SCP-1499, yes, he'll have moved to a different room, but he'll still be mad at you. Once you come back, he's just chasing you. So if you're on Euclid or safe mode and you can respawn and you see his face, I would just let him kill you. The only time I would use the 1499 strategy is on Keter, where you don't have any more lives and you just have to use it to buy a little more time if he catches you, and then buy a little more time, and then buy a little more time, and then just keep doing that until you buy enough time to beat the game. But this is kind of a loophole. If you see it, it's supposed to mean certain death. And just to make this guide complete, we are going to trigger him and use 1499 to show you what I mean. I'm not looking forward to this. Do I have... Bro, turn around. Why can't he do this while I'm playing on Keter? It's one of the times I'm actually trying to make a guide that he... Look my way. Whoa! Now you... So yeah. He'll have his little fit. That little fit is your head start. And then you'll hear him screaming. Yep, that's your cue! Okay. Oh, I forgot how fast he was. And then you just want to camp in here for a few minutes. This is only on if you're on Keter and you have no other choice. Because again, this doesn't de-trigger him. It'll just cause him to move into another room because he can't find you. I forgot how fast he was, bro. But yeah, when he's close, you'll hear chase music constantly once, or like, I guess like suspense music once you trigger him, but you'll only hear the screaming if he's nearby. So if you hear that screaming, you gotta run. Run for your life, or if you have $14.99, put on the mask. But yeah, like you did there, just if you see him coming, if you hear that screaming, you're not always gonna see him coming, because I like was in a very straight hallway. But if you just hear the screaming, which trust me you will, that's when you want to put on the mask. I'm gonna die to him now just to show you guys. That's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. After this, I'm going to be making a guide on the mobile task force, but what I make a guide on after that is up to you guys. I believe the only main ones left are 173 and 106. But yeah, that's all for now. See you guys next time.